Hi, everybody. My name is Asha Creary, and I am a licensed professional counselor in the state of Texas and a licensed professional counselor approved supervisor in the state of Missouri. In this episode of Post-Grad with Asha, we will discuss Section 6 of the NCE. We will not discuss questions just yet. That will be in our follow-up video on Domain 6. The sixth domain of the NCE is core counseling attributes. It's 8% of the test and will have about 13 scored questions on your exam. So it is your smallest section of the NCE. And so for this particular section, again, those little sections add up. So you want to be mindful of getting all of the small sections correct. That way you have wiggle room in all of the larger sections. So this in Section 6 of the NCE, it covers core counseling attributes. And this section encompasses behaviors, traits, and dispositions of effective counselors. So this section, these questions are more so about you as a clinician, how you show up, and how you provide services to your clients. Subsection A is the awareness of self and impact on clients. So in practicum, in internship, in graduate school, you will always have or should have always have heard how you present in therapy impacts your client experience. Are you aware of how you interact with your clients? So this would be including being aware of, again, who you are as a person, how you show up in therapy sessions, and your impact on clients within sessions. An example of this would be if you show up disorganized, frazzled, and overwhelmed, there's a possibility you may dysregulate your clients. So if you have personal things going on in which you're not able to leave at the door and it impacts your sessions, such as going through a breakup due to your spouse maybe stepping out on you, or working and then going in and working with clients who are going through the same issues, and your negative experiences start to show up in these sessions. So this is, when you think about the ACA Code of Ethics, it talks about if you are impaired, do not provide services. So this section, it kind of correlates with ethics. How do you show up in your sessions? Are you professional? Are you prepared? Are you ready? Have you left the previous sessions, stuff in your charts? Or are you still trying to close out processing what just happened in your previous session? Subsection B talks about genuineness. Are you genuine in your sessions, or are you putting on a show? Being genuine is key in how your clients will receive you. Just like we pick up on the verbal and nonverbal cues of our clients pick up on the same details about us. Congruence. Are you in congruence with your clients? Meaning that if they want to work on self-esteem, are you forcing them to talk about something different? Are you sure in the services in which you're providing to your client? So again, are you holding awareness in the space? And if you're holding awareness in the space, does your presentation, does your approach align with what the client needs in that moment? The subsection D as in dog or delta, demonstrate knowledge of and sensitivity to gender orientation and gender issues. So as a clinician, our duty is to protect and prevent harm. You're going to always hear me say or lead with something of the nature. So are you aware of any bias you hold? And if you are not able, or if you're not sure about gender affirmative statements and concerns, have you done your research, or have you found trainings to support your education of these issues and concerns? Are you being sensitive to the clients that you're serving, again, or is your personal thoughts, feelings, beliefs, cognitions showing up in the session? Demonstrate knowledge of and sensitivity to multicultural issues. So, do you demonstrate knowledge or have some sensitivity around the orientation of gender, ethnic, race, religious, sex, age, any of the discriminatory federal breakdowns? Are you holding sensitivity to those things, or are you not taking into regard? And then again, have you taken trainings to support you in regard to those multicultural issues? Subsection F, is to demonstrate conflict, tolerance, and resolution. If you and your client are not in alignment, or if there is tension in the therapeutic space, have you worked towards tolerance and resolution of the conflict? Conflict usually stems from miscommunication or confusion. Most times, a simple check-in identifying that there is conflict or tension between self and the client and being able to diffuse them. So you can't have conflict with a client and not try to diffuse it. Now, there's a difference between a client who is displacing their traumas, their experiences on you. There's a difference in that. And there's also a difference in countertransference, right? So you want to make sure that you are aware of those things and making sure that you're able to decipher between, is this actual conflict or is this displaced emotions, and how can I best support my client even when they don't seem to be in the greatest of spaces today or tomorrow or the next session or the previous session. But this is an aside, but I'll say it anyway. Doesn't necessarily align with the exam per se, but you will have clients that will yell at you. You will have clients that will go off. You will have clients that's going to do all of that. But they always come back. If it's a healthy relationship that you've established, they always come back. A lot of times they're yelling, they're angry, they're upset. It's not geared towards you. You just so happen to be, sitting in an empty chair, right? And so just making sure that you are, you have your emotional shield on and you're able to still support clients even when they become dysregulated and are displacing their experiences towards you or in the therapeutic space. So are you able to hold yourself together? Subsection G is empathetic attunement. So this is where empathy is one of the hardest things to teach to new counselors. Some may either say you either know empathy and you have it or you don't. And some believe that empathy can be taught, but empathy attunement includes how a clinician interacts with the client and how the client perceives the interaction. An example of attunement is knowing when to implement empathy and not sympathy, because sympathy is something completely different. Does your affect match your empathetic vocal response? Or do you have a flat affect when sharing with the client that their feelings are valid? Can you understand their concerns, or are you including, or are you including direct eye contact? Do you have open arms? Are you leaned into the communication? Are you supporting the client as you are basically saying that their feelings are valid? Or are you saying, no, your feelings are valid, and you're gaslighting your client? So just being mindful of, again, at the beginning, there was subsection, I think B or C was genuineness. Genuineness also shows up in empathetic attunement. So if you're not genuine, your clients are going to be able to read right through your false empathy. But also, again, you need to know the difference between empathy and sympathy. Those two things are not the same. Empathetic responding. As mentioned in empathetic attunement, are you providing empathy or sympathy to your clients? And are you being sensitive to their concerns and using empathetic language? This is especially important because providing sympathy to your clients could be harmful. Empathy is healthy. Sympathy is harmful. All right, foster the emergence of group therapeutic factors. So this is where the clinician is aware of the group process and use their internal basic skills to identify changes that are occurring in the group that may be counterproductive to the therapeutic experience and incorporate corrective plans to redirect into more positive experience for all group members. Do you allow members to run the group? Are members over talking each other? Are they not working towards the group goals? What kind of ship are you running? Non-judgmental stance. So again, being aware of your bias and understanding that the client space is not the place for it. So judgment can harm clients, and my favorite statement is harm is in the eye of the beholder. And in these cases, judgment can be harmful to clients that you serve. So be sure to know what your biases are and check them at the door. Our job is to support and facilitate a healthy therapeutic relationship and alliance and not judge people for their experiences. always remember, even in your most healthiest state, you too can make decisions that ultimately land you in therapy. And these can be instances in which someone would normally judge you on. Think, if I was in the client's shoes, would I need judgment in this moment? And knowing that the answer will always be no. So on your exam, there will be statements around judgmental interactions and engagements. Positive regard is subsection K. All right. No matter how or what your clients do or don't do, or in between sessions, as far as what they agree on. So for example, if your clients say, I'm going to implement the treatment plans and they don't, it's not your job to shun them or to make them feel bad for not implementing those things. Remember, always remain open and available to your clients unless you are a clinician or if you're in a position where you truly cannot support your client. If a client says that they will journal and track behaviors and they don't, we can't yell, we can't be angry. All we can do is determine what prevents them from implementing the goals and support them in establishing new, more attainable goals, because the ones that we implemented are not effective. Respect and acceptance for diversity. Respect and acceptance for diversity is exactly what it sounds like. Are we respectful of our diverse differences, and are we accepting of other diverse populations and cultures? Please respect your clients. Please respect their culture. Please respect their experiences. Respect is key. Subsection M as in Mary. Use foundational listening, attending, and reflecting skills. Communication is an all-in thing, right? Be sure to listen. Be sure that you're focusing, and be sure that you are adequately reflecting what your client is saying or what is happening within the session. Err on the side of active listening. So again, do you hold the basic skills of active listening? Okay. Active listening means you're listening. It means you're reflecting. It means you're picking up on nonverbal cues. It means you're picking up on verbal cues and congruences that your client is presenting with. It is your job to do that in your session. So we will end on section 6, and it's been a long time coming. We are almost down to the very last video of the NCE breakdown. Now, the next video will be on section 6 sample questions. But then I'm even going to throw in a bonus video after that, where I talk to you guys about my experience of taking the NCE, because y'all wouldn't believe me if I told you how I passed. So I will be more than happy to go into that after I get done with video section 6. I'm trying to push these out because I know I kept y'all waiting for far too long on the remaining videos. So with all of that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. And again, thank you guys for watching the Post-Grad with Asha NCE Breakdown Edition. It has been so much fun, and we'll get into the next video. See you guys next video.